Hello. Hey everyone. How are you? Hope you are well. April Fool's Day, so I thought it would be a, a suitable day to have a wee chat with you. Give you a bit of an update as to the goings on in Camp Bonneville. Yeah. So um we're going just real quick one today, just be a few minutes, won't be there's not much happening, if truth be told. Uh we had a wee a wee chat with Mikey Marmika, who's recording our new album. He's in Germany at the minute. Uh, so the wee chat with him the other day, and we're going to go back into the studio. I think a couple of days in May, and another couple of days in June. This is the way we have to do it, because Mikey's not here. But it's no bad thing. I don't mind that because it means that it gives me time to, well, there's no rush, basically, is what it is. So I have plenty more writing to do, and it gives me a chance to go over what we've done already and have a bit of a play around with it and change a few things and get rid of a few things altogether, so that's good. Glad of that. So yeah, so it's going to be fun. We're looking forward to that. Again, the plan is to have another album, our fifth album, done this year, hopefully released this year. But we would need to get a bit of a move on with that, actually. Um, so yeah, so that's that. And then, so yeah, so the next gigs that we've got coming up are, the first of them is this Saturday. We're playing Gig for Gaza at the Elk in Toom, for the Mid Ulster Irish Palestinian Solidarity Committee. Those guys up there, and there's a load of us playing. There's us and Tramp and Tom Kett and Paul McAdam, Folks and Rogues, Conor O'Kane. I think that's everybody. Um, so it's going to be a great lineup. It's going to be a great gig, a six-band gig, which is technically a mini festival. And the boys are playing, we're playing. So we would like for you to come to that and to show your support and gather some much needed funds and support for our Palestinian brothers and sisters, in this time of genocide and horror. So yeah, we do what we can. Yeah, there's not really much more. We offer our support. We we are part of. We partake in the BDS boycott, divestment, and sanction. We boycott what we can. We don't buy Israeli products when we can. When we know what they can be a bit sneaky. Sometimes they don't even brand these things, from the country of origin correctly. Um, One of the ways to get around that is they'll export the product and then they'll send it to another country. So then it gets officially exported from that other country and not Israel. So, but the more of us that are aware of these things, that are awake to these things, the better it's going to be. So yeah, one sec, I'm going to pause. Yeah, yeah, I'll let a jaw stick in here, and it's a bit smoky. So I think I'm going to just open the door for a minute. Let in some air. Yeah, so yeah, the eagle eyed among you will notice that I'm back out in the studio. So I was going to move the studio. I have a studio out in my garden, and I was going to move it into the garage. I built this a few years ago, in which to basically to write and record Northern Gothic in, and I was going to move it into the garage, and I started to do it, but I decided not to. I decided to change my mind for now, because there'll be a lot more to do to get the garage, a suitable space. So I decided to hold off on it for the time being. I'm just going to nibble away at what I need to do in there, rather than doing it all in one big go. And eventually I'll move it out there. But yeah, for now, so I decided to move it back out, and I'm really glad, because what I did was, this place it became unusable not unusable, but an awkward space to work in because it had too much in it, had too much clutter. So what I've got now, basically I moved everything out to the garage, and uh, all the equipment, all the instruments, and most of the stuff, and I've just moved certain things back in here. So I'm going to keep everything in there, and then just bring stuff out here, use it, and put it back as I'm when I need it. So it's it's a nicer space. There's a bit more room, but because it was getting frustrating actually. If I wanted to use a drum kit, let's just show you. It's only a small space. I'll just turn the camera, let you see. Ooh. So it's just that. Oh, is this not moving? Oh, let me get that. There we go. So you can see. You can see. So it's only a small space, but and there's a drum kit over here. Did you see that in the camera? Yeah, barely. There it is. So if I wanted to, if I wanted to make up the drum kit, I have to put cables everywhere. It was a real pain in the ass, and they were just constantly tripping over things, and it got a bit frustrating. The last thing I recorded in here was the single from the new Northern Gothic, the Flamingos of Love, which you can go and get on my Bandcamp, by the way, if you want to check out some new music. That was the last thing I did in here, and it was hard. It was driving me mad, but it was just because I had the place too cluttered up with instruments. Basically, just everything that I have was all in here, so I needed to sort of clear the space. That's all. That's all it took. So I'm much happier. Yeah, and I've already, again, I'll be able to get my Northern Gothic 2 finished now. Um, so yeah, so the gig for Gaza, we've got that on this Saturday night at the Elk in Tomb, and you should come to that. Then there's nothing in the book now until when is it? The 4th and 5th of May. We play at Kilkenny Roots. Now, a couple of people were asking about that, about getting tickets. Our gigs are free. You can come to see us for nothing in Kilkenny Roots, in Ryan's Bar on the Saturday night, and Billy Burns Bar on the Sunday night. Apparently, from what I've heard, there's a big crowd coming to see us. Everyone's talking about coming to see us, which is kind of really cool. So my advice to you, if you're thinking of coming, is to get there early. I've never been to Ryan's Bar. Apparently it's not that big, and it'll fill up early. Billy Burns is a bit bigger. It's a bigger room, a couple of hundred capacity in there, I think. And but again, if it's free and there's a festival crowd there, it's going to fill up. So yeah. So that's the Kilkenny Roots, and then after that the following week. Then we have the Cathedral Quarter Arts Festival, which is in Belfast. It's not a free gig, but we found out that you can bring your kids. I spoke about this in last week's video, didn't I? You can bring your kids. Under 12s go for free, are free. Adults are not. You have to buy tickets. Go to the Cathedral Quarter Arts Festival website, cqaf.com, and get those. Yeah, but before that, so that's the gigs, right? We spoke about that. There's one more gig, and it's happening this week, but it's me solo, and it's part of the Culture Vulture section that we normally do. So this Thursday I'm playing, believe it or not, an open mic, which I've never done in my life actually. In the Vintage Bar in Lurgan, here in my hometown, and it's a part of the George A.E. Russell Festival. Now, most of you probably don't know who George A.E. Russell is. George Russell is he's often referred to as Ireland's forgotten genius. And by God, was he a genius. This man, he died in the 30s, I think, and he was an advisor to presidents of America, leaders around the world. He was a poet, an author, a mystic. He had a very beautiful relationship with Ireland's medieval or mythological um, history and past. And he's an artist. He's beautiful paintings. He paint fairies and things like that. He's absolutely stunning man. And I think I'm correct in saying this. He actually advised President Roosevelt after World War One to do what was called the New Deal, which and it was his. He was a socialist as well, and it was his advice. I believe I've been told that. So this booklet is was given to me by Jumbo Conway, who is one of the organisers of the festival, and a huge advocate for George Russell. And you know, if you know the town here, you probably know Jumbo. He does the guided tours around the historical graveyards and things like that here. He's a local historian. So he gave me this and he asked me would I play the open mic in the Vintage Bar this Thursday, 7 p.m. So me and my cousin Laura, who plays fiddle and who's in my solo project band, she's going to come and do it with me. So we actually need to get a wee rehearsal in, but we're only going to do a couple of songs. But apparently there's a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of musicians up there, so it's going to be good fun. And there's a whole program of things happening over the weekend, sessions, historical society things. There's a parade, like a big head bobblehead parade. I think people are making these bobbleheads. And then another thing in town here, if you next time you're in Lurgan, if you're from Lurgan, you can always call in. In the high street, beside the post office building, there used to be a restaurant, a big restaurant. I think it was a big Indian restaurant. It closed, and this local arts organization has taken it over, called the Aeon, Aeon, which is where George Russell got his name from. The AE is George A.E. Russell, or A.E. Russell. He's referred to as, but the AE is self-applied. That's his own thing, and the Aeon Arts Community Group took their name from the AE, from George Russell. So he's a massive figure historically, but even in Lurgan here, he is. Sorry, I never mentioned this. The connection with the town. He was born and raised in Lurgan, so he went to the model school where my kids went and things like that. So so that's why we have this festival for him now, which has only been going a few years, but it's getting bigger and bigger every year. And I wasn't able to partake in it last year because I was away. I think I was away on the UK tour with the band. But so I'm happy to be able to do that this year. So go check out George Russell. If you're in the town, or if you want to come down on Thursday night, come to the Vintage Bar, which is right in the town centre, beside the big clock in the middle of the town, and come and watch the musicians, listen to the musicians, have a drink, and come up and have a wee chat and learn a little bit about George Russell, Ireland's forgotten genius. Yeah, so you should do that. And that gig on Thursday is free. Obviously, it's more like it's sort of going to be like a bit of an open mic is what it's called. So yeah, I haven't done one of those before. It's going to be fun. So that's me. That's this week's video. We're going to call it a day now because I've got nothing else to tell you. I think that's me all caught up. Yep. Alrighty. Talk soon. Bye.